Hi, this is Melanie with the Pardesi channel. I'm here to do a movie review of Viswasam starring Ajith. I really love Ajith, and Vivagam was his last film with Siva, and the director, and I did not love that film. It was okay, but this film really touched my heart. It's difficult for me to talk about what I really liked without giving any spoilers at all. So, if you don't want any spoilers, I went into the film really not knowing anything about the plot other than that he plays some sort of rural kind of mob boss kind of a person, and that he had a love interest, although they kind of fooled us in the trailer as to what she's really like. And that's really all I knew, right? That it was a village setting, meant there was going to be big dance numbers, which there were. I did a trailer reaction for Viswasam with my son Ben, who's only 18 years old.
It's like Fight Club. Dude, what's with the fresh pigs?
And I couldn't think of the Tamil word for dhoti, and so since my son doesn't know anything hardly at all about Indian cinema or Indian culture at all, I was referring to them as the skirt so he would know what I was talking about, because he thought they were showing off Ajith's amazing sandal. He's like, what's with the fresh kicks? They wear the skirt that they wear,
yes,
and then they kind of kick it up and tuck it in, and that's like their little macho move. That's
the macho move?
Yeah. So
wearing a skirt?
Yeah. So he didn't get that at all, but there's an entire song. The first song is Veti Veti, and everyone's doing their dhoti and doing all sorts of dance moves with it. I will never forget the Tamil word for dhoti again, because now there's an entire song for me to help me remember. I really like this film. It was just enjoyable. I don't know if it was the most original script in the world. You know what? I don't care, because this movie made me smile. And then at the end, it had a strong emotional quotient that made me really tear up. It went places in the second half that I didn't know that's the emotional journey that we were going to be on with Ajith's character. It had lots of good masala fights. The romance was decent. There could have been a little bit more of that in the first half, but I was pretty satisfied with that. But it was emotional things that happened to Ajith's character. Certain things are said to him, and he is such a good actor that, there were scenes that were emotional, and then they put slow-mo on him, and you could just see, like, several emotions go across his face, and he would tear up, and then I was tearing up, and, it was just... Yeah, it's a really emotional film. It's a good family film. Yes, there are the machete fights and whatever, but you're not seeing anybody's head chopped off. There are a lot of fights, but it's more of a family drama kind of a film. Okay, that is the end of the completely spoiler-free section. Nayanthara, who I have not seen the film that they did 10 years ago. I guess was the last time Ajith and she acted together, but they sort of echo that in the film, in that there's a separation from when they first get together, and there's a separation of 10 years. So I thought that was, interesting that they incorporated that sort of in the plot of the film. And the key to me is that they have a daughter, and the reason that they separate is not just, because the wife has a hissy fit and she just walks out or something. No, there was a real reason. It's because he's still carrying on his sort of mobster, knock heads together kind of ways, and he's doing it while holding their daughter, their little toddler. And she's like, don't do that ever again. And then she doesn't know, but he's like, he's just with his one uncle, and he's set upon by thugs, and he could have just had the uncle run away. But instead, part of the fight, he's holding the kid, and the kid's neck gets sliced. Like, you totally agree with the mother, like, I can't be with you. You are putting our daughter in danger. I'm done. So this wasn't one of those films where you're like, okay, the wife has no reason, it's just a stupid misunderstanding, whatever. No, there was like an actual good reason why she said, I'm through, and you don't need to be around our daughter if you're going to jeopardize her safety. Now, she doesn't let him explain, but she's seen him in so many fights. She's like, how could this one be any different than all the other ones that I've seen? Okay, so she's shown as being somewhat stubborn, but she has a valid reason. So I like that the plot incorporated that. She was a doctor. Like, she was the more educated one, and I love that Ajith was uneducated and couldn't even really, like, he had a crush on her, but when she comes back for that marriage proposal, her father says it in English, and he misunderstands that she wants him to put on the wedding, and he's like, don't worry, I'll beat up the groom if he's meet you, or whatever. And it's like, and she's like, no, it's you that I want. And I love that he kept trying to woo her by asking his friend, what's the English word for this? And he can't even say beautiful, so he just goes, beauty, beauty. Like he just was kind of mishmashing the English words, and she finds him adorable. So, I mean, who wouldn't? But, so that's the reason there's the whole flashback that shows us, he's really not happy at the beginning, and he's got the gray hair, and then we get the flashback to see what happened, why they separated. And then half the film takes place in Mumbai, because he goes to check on his daughter. She won't even see him. I mean, the wife won't see him. And she's let her daughter believe that it was the father that left. Because somebody is after the daughter, he has to play bodyguard. The one emotional moment that I mentioned at the beginning of the review was when she says, I hate my father. That's what drives me to run, because I'm imagining I'm stamping on him with every step. And it just is like a knife going through Ajith's heart, because he loves his daughter so much. And to hear that she hates him, she loves him as the right uncle, the driver, bodyguard. And they develop this warm, loving relationships. The child actress is, I think she's known as Baby Annika. And I've actually seen her. I think this is like the 4th film that I've seen her in, which is kind of incredible. She was in a Malayalam film early on with Dulquer Salman, Blue Sky, Brown Earth, or something like that. And she was in another film with Ajith, so they already had a relationship, which I'm sure this is echoing. She was in Gita Govindam, which I don't really remember her that. But then The Great Father is the one with Mammootty that she did, which was a very difficult film. She had to play some very difficult scenes. This young child actress is really good. She has to carry a lot of screen time, and I was impressed. The acting was all good. Ajith just being awesome. Had at least 3 big dance numbers that I really liked. There's one in Mumbai after he's seen his daughter, and he's told he's going to be able to see her for 10 days and spend time with her as the driver. I think it's like a Chirituka. I'd love to know what that means. I was actually trying to search, and I couldn't find what the subtitles were kind of like, we're rocking it or something like that. So let me know if that was kind of accurate. I really like that song, but like I said, the Veti one, which actually everyone was dancing by flapping their dhotis around. I love that one. I'm going to have to show that one to my son. I enjoyed this film with Ajith. He's one of my favorites, and it was just enjoyable to see him in such a nice emotional journey kind of a film. And oh my gosh, the ending, it was just tears were pouring down. Oh, Jagapati Babu is the villain. They kind of make a twist with it, don't they? If you've seen the film, you know what I mean. They make a twist with the reason that he's so evil and the reason that he is doing the things that he's doing. That's all I'll say. That was interesting, and that the social message that Siva is trying to put forward, let kids be kids, basically, is what the message of the film is. So it has a good message too. Anyway, let me know what you thought in the comments below. Follow me on Twitter at PardeziYT. Remember, all my reviews are also on the Pardesi podcast if you'd rather just listen to them while you're on the go. Do subscribe here to the Pardesi channel, and if you hit the bell, you'll get a notification whenever I have a new trailer reaction or film review.